Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in again to another personal pep rally here at BrandonBerry.net. Man, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I know I was blown away at just the love that I received from Ella, Allie, Caroline, and Kate yesterday. I'm so blessed to be their father. But let me tell you, I got to spend the day with one of my favorite people on the planet, and that's my father, John Berry. Let me just tell you a leadership principle that I believe can be applied to every context. Whether you're a man or a woman, boy or girl, every leader can put this principle into practice, and it's this. It's the power of example. Let me tell you, my dad, he lived and as an example to my brother and I. He was an example first of humility. And I think we all can do this in front of the people that we lead. Do you display humility? Are you willing to admit your mistakes and then admit that you learn from them? My dad never pretended to be perfect in front of us. He told us that he used to smoke. But he also told us that when he found out that mom was pregnant with my older brother, he said, I probably shouldn't have littered, but I took that cigarette out of my mouth and I threw it out the window and I never smoked again. I don't know about how that hits you, but that marked me. To just say, okay, a man has the willpower to do what's right and is also willing to admit when he did something wrong. He never went to college. And we always said, Dad, how come you didn't go to college? You were so talented. You were like so good at all these different sports. Didn't you get a scholarship? And he was like, yeah, I did, but I didn't. The difference between me and you is I didn't have a daddy to tell me to do what's best for me. And you do. And let me tell you, we lived with that. And both my brother and I got to go to college and have just been so blessed. And I think so much by having a father who was characterized by humility. The second example that he really showed us was integrity. He lived it rather than talk about it. A lot of dads, they talk about how much they love their kids more than anything and how they want to be there for them, want to give them the best. But then sadly, they actually sacrifice those crucial years with their kids on the altar of money and materialism. They're out working 2 and 3 jobs and are gone and don't get to be with the ones that they say are their priority. You know what my dad did? He remembers when my brother was a little boy and he was out doing a second job selling insurance at night. And my brother looked at him and was just like, where's Daddy? And my dad, growing up without a father, it just gripped him, and he was like, I am not going to have my son growing up saying, where's Daddy? And so, you know what? He quit that second job and he quit selling insurance so much. And you know what? He had to live at a lower level as far as, income goes. But I'm telling you, he doesn't regret it now. He had the time with us that we'll never get back. But he invested it. He did what he said he was supposed to do, and that was to be our father. And he was even willing to lay down some of his dreams in order to see us discover who we were. He had his own karate school at one point, but when his sons started showing more interest in baseball than in karate, he handed his karate school over to one of his students, and he became our little league baseball coach. The power of example, first in humility, then in integrity, and finally, he was an example in simplicity. My father, he simplified our lives. He looked at us boys and said, hey, I did 5 sports and I was good at all of them, but I wasn't awesome in any of them. And you boys are going to focus. And so we were only allowed to play 2 sports. I kind of didn't like that at the beginning, but I'm so grateful for it now because I was forced to focus and forced to discover what I was really good at and was actually able to get some scholarship money for it. He said, figure out what you're called to do, what you're good at, and do it with all your heart. And do this, do your assignments, not everybody else's. Be smart with your investments, live below your means, and get out of debt as soon as you can. You know, he didn't just talk about that, he lived that. And we saw that in the way that my mom bought groceries, in the way that they handled rental properties, and in the way that they got out of debt when I was in middle school. You know, my dad, the legacy that I have from him is that he knew what he was supposed to do, and that was he was supposed to be a father. And he gave himself to this. He was present with us, and he owned his calling. Fathers, leaders, whoever you are, I encourage you to do this with those that you're following, is live as an example of humility. Live as an example of integrity. And live as an example of simplicity for those that you lead. Be fully present with them. Be there. Practice, as the Hewlett-Packard guys used to say in the 80s, practice management while walking around. Be there, be present, be in the lives of the people that you wish to lead, and I promise you, you'll never regret it. Thanks, Dad, for the example to me of what it means to be fully present, what it means to be an awesome dad. And I'm looking forward to living up to your legacy, and as you put it, going even further. Happy Father's Day to all those that are out there. Hope you enjoyed this personal pep rally from me, Brandon Berry. You can find me and a whole lot more here at brandonberry.net. Y'all take care. Peace.